It's in there, yeah, mine was.
Okay.
It tried to hide. Away from their clothes.
I got another meeting tomorrow night with our historic zoning commission.
Oh, yeah? How's that going?
Well, we're in our second meeting, so I mean, it's kind of, you know, it's new, we're still got a lot of things that we got to do to lay out the zone, lay out the historic overlay.
Uh-huh.
So that's what we're kind of like currently working on right now.
Okay.
Just the second meeting.
So you really don't have it over what it's gonna take in yet, right?
I have a concept. I mean, I have, we laid, long ago, we laid out lines, and it basically falls along the guidelines of the Main Street community that CDC has, because they've got good outlines for the historic area, or the downtown area, and we utilize that. So now it's kind of up to the board to go and take a physical inventory of the buildings and the places that's indicated there.
But now, is it gonna take up, like, our neighborhood with all those,
No, we're just concerned right now with the downtown area. Yes, sir. Yeah.
That goes from,
Bond Street,
yeah,
all the way up
Barney,
to-
Jordan, back to,
we talked about the Main
First
Street.
or, well, it should go down toward the old Fred store?
it goes a little past there,
I can't recall.
I think so.
Down to at least, well, the cemetery, I would think, would be in there.
I think it does, I think it goes to that.
I'm not for sure. I can't remember that much about it from out, but it was an outline that has already been established. So basically, they just need to take a physical inventory of the buildings to see.
Was there a plan to reach out and get a little more of the neighborhood and stuff on some of that?
Mm.
You just gonna stay with downtown?
We're kind of staying with the downtown area at this point right now. Now, there is a plan in the future to establish residential overlays that will, encompass areas, probably such as yours. But we haven't looked at those in detail yet.
Which actually, my house is one of the newer.
Mhm.
Oh, it was 1948, and there's stuff more like the manor house is 1859,
Mhm.
just right before the cemetery.
Yeah.
And it's the early 1900s, I mean.
We didn't want to establish too many districts. We want to concentrate on one, get it off the ground, and then once we do that, we're a certified local government right now. So once we do that, we have the benefit of drawing in federal help, or they do the plan for us. You said plan, so that's kind of what we're going to concentrate on this area first. And we're already working with Tennessee Preservation, which is a federal arm of historic preservation, and we work closely with a lady there who's helped us a lot with that. So we'll concentrate on this area, and then
Well, there's several buildings up and down Main Street that it's got some years on
oh yeah, most certainly.
it.
Most certainly.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've got it. Let me turn the microphones. We are live.
All right, it's 6:00, and I'll call this meeting to order. First item on the agenda will be the pledge and the invocation. Robert, if you would give an invocation, and Lisa Cole will have her pledge. Will you stand, please?
We bow and let's pray. Dear gracious God, we come before you this evening, Lord. We're so thankful for this day, and thank you for your many blessings that you've given each one of us. Thank you for your protection, watching over us, and keeping us safe. We ask tonight as we go about the business of this meeting in the city, Father, that everything done here is in your will and for the benefit of the city of Mount Pleasant and all of its citizens. And we give you thanks and ask that you continue to protect us and keep us safe on our journeys home tonight, Lord. We thank you for everything that you've given us. And we ask all these things in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen. pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, our next item is the approval of the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
I second.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of the agenda. Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Mr. Witt, did you make the motion there?
Yes.
Yeah, seconded.
Biden.
And Ms. Johnson.
Thank you, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. There's a humming going on there that I can hear, I think some of that speaker, so I was checking on.
Those opposed to the motion? Motion carries. Next item is the approval of the minutes. You got a copy in your packet. If you read it over or like to take a look at it, if there's any changes or adjustments.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
We have a motion to approve the minutes as written. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. These minutes are the July 18 meeting that we had. Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, our next item will be the business items. Approved variance, reconsideration, BCA 093019, parentheses 1. We have an applicant, Mr. Bob Burlow, is requesting a reconsideration of a previously approved sign variance, BZ 906 2519, parentheses 1. Due to the site restrictions that prohibited the location of the requested previous BZA. The property being at 210 South Cross Bridges, safe storage. At this point, Robert, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Chairman. Well, as the BZA knows, back on June 25th of this year, Mr. Burklow brought before this board a variance request to the height of a sign, not the height of the sign, which was was a monument sign, basically. And he was requesting for a height variance because the original text in the zoning code calls out for a 6-foot monument sign. This sign that was approved back in June of this year is a total of 14 feet high, 10 foot across. Along with the board's approval, recollection of that meeting in June, along with the board's approval, there was a condition set forth by this board in reference to the site the location of the sign on the site. The original proposal was to put it in the corner, 10 foot off the property line on the inside of safe storage fence, and the condition set forth by this board was that it be moved closer to the entrance or the exit, the egress point of 210 South Storage, South Cross Bridges, safe storage right there on to South Cross Bridges. Mr. Burklow and I and his Columbia Neon, a representative from Columbia Neon, went out there and did look at that specific location. Actually, it was staked off. I went by and gave the approval. None of us at that time chose to look up. Had we have looked up, we would have seen lines, TDA lines, for the easement there. So, you know, it caught us all off guard. Of course, we contacted Mount Pleasant Power. Mr. Burklow contacted Mount Pleasant Power. And Mount Pleasant Power came to the site because they are managed, those lines are actually managed by Mount Pleasant Power. Chance McCrary came out to the site, viewed it, so there's no way. So, upon discussion with Columbia Neon, and I advised the chairman as well, we all went back out to the site, we looked at it again. There's only in the vicinity of where the original proposal was, there's only two viable areas that the sign could be put outside of that 50-foot easement over those lines. One would be back in the corner of the original proposal. The other would have been in the parking lot, or in a portion of the parking lot of safe storage, which would have prohibited the egress at that point, or any turning movements at all, really, if you get somebody hauling a trailer in there. So neither one of those would really work. You know, the board had set forth the condition that it be moved closer to the egress point, and that was impossible. The only other location in the area that Mr. Burlow wanted this sign would be in the parking lot. And the request tonight is for the board to look at this and reconsider the placement of the sign, not the variance that's already been approved, the condition that was set forth by the board that attached itself to that variance. So, based off of those facts, Mr. Burklow can talk directly to them, speak more to them if the board sees fit that they'd like to ask him questions. But that's the facts of what you have laid out before you tonight. You know, like I said, we went out there and verified that it's impossible to do exactly where the BZA had set the
With the condition.
With the condition.
So could we drop the condition that it be there, withdraw that, and that would allow him to put the sign where?
I suppose Mr. Burklow was going to ask to put it back in the same, in the originally.
Well, in your opinion, I haven't seen it, but in your opinion, about all it's left.
In the vicinity where Mr. Burklow wants to place the sign on his property in direct relation to his property. And he's got plenty of room down the side. I'm not saying he does not. But business owner is requesting that it be put in the frontage of the property. Close
to the cross bridge.
So right now, to answer your question, and I appreciate it's a good question, that would be the only viable location up front that sign could be put. You can't place it in that parking lot. Building code, I'm not going to allow it as the building official because it's going to prohibit egress and stuff. I mean, you just can't do that safety factor. So, I mean, the placement of the sign right there in the parking lot at the front at South Cross Bridges will definitely, in my opinion, present a safety issue that should even be considered at this point.
Mr. Burklow, if you'd like, tell us what you want.
Where are you wanting your sign?
I'd like to go back to the original request, to put it in the corner of the property that is 10 feet back off of the property line. And let me make a statement too. I appreciate you all coming out. I know that you get a lot of pay for this, but I appreciate it a bunch. And when I was here the last time, I thought we had everything settled and all. And then the fire company kind of threw a monkey wrench into it. So, and that's my request, is that we go back to the original location request.
I make a motion that we go back to the original.
I'll second. That we withdraw the condition.
And withdraw the condition.
Just for the record, if you're going to make that motion, clarify it all together in one motion, please. What you just said with the condition removed.
I'm making a motion to approve the original
Location.
variance and location and remove the condition.
And I say,
Where's that gonna put the sign in, what you're trying to say?
Mr. White, that'll put it back at the corner of the property.
The original location.
The original location, that's correct, 10 foot off the property line on the inside of Mr. Burklow's stand.
And with the original location, I believe a worry was that it wouldn't be seen at that particular spot.
It's too close to, in my opinion, too close to the highway on the original spot. I think it's glare. I take your advice, Mr. Bartlow, when your location is close. You are approximately 200 feet, just rough my guesstimation, to a 4-lane highway up there, which is a 45-mile speed limit. You want to put that 10 foot of a 4-lane highway down here with a 55 to 65 speed limit. I just don't, I can't support that sort of sign, I'm sorry.
I don't know the exact distance, Mr. White, but just to make a clarification, it'll be 10 foot off the property line. His property is way off the road. I don't know the exact distance.
This property joins the highway right of way.
Yes, sir, and it still has that right-of-way reflected, so you're looking at least 50 foot outside of the highway, because that's state right-of-way. If not 100.
so it's a considerable amount of distance from the highway.
Yeah.
But I don't know the exact measurement. I can only tell you.
50 to 75 feet.
Well, the state right-of-way is anywhere between 50 to 100 feet. That's a state right-of-way.
So I'm saying, it's not gonna be 10 foot from the edge of the road.
That's correct. It's 10 foot from the edge of his property line.
Okay.
Inside.
Inside, that's correct.
It has to be there.
Yeah, it's inside, so it's,
You can't be
well
off
off
the right of way.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, it'll have to be completely off the right-of-way. The state wouldn't allow it.
And the speed bump in there is 55.
Right in that vicinity,
It's
I
55.
believe it's.
Yeah.
it was 45 while construction was going
Well,
on.
the
Right,
construction
and it is
going on.
55.
But I think it went back up to 50.
Yeah.
55 around the city limits.
Yeah, it don't hit 65 till up past, airport.
I think that's
Texas, right.
Up past FTS on 43. It's right past FTS, I think, is when it changes to 65.
So that's pretty well the only way to put it, right?
In the area that Mr. Burklow wants, at the front, which is street frontage, like any other business owner that came before any board, they usually request signage at the street frontage. So, yes, sir, in the area that he wants to place the sign due to the street frontage, that would be the only other viable location. Now, I will tell this board that we all were out there, and we did physically, Mr. Burklow had it staked out. His intent was to put it exactly where the board had recommended. And it wasn't until we all decided to, well, Columbia Neon actually brought it up. I don't know that we can put it in these fire lines, so.
Yeah, when they came out, they suggested that we get the fire company to come out.
Yeah, so, yeah. Mr. Burklow was not trying to navigate around the board's request. He certainly
No,
did give his best effort to.
Kind of got navigated for it.
Yeah.
Gotta get shut down.
But that's where we stand. I wouldn't recommend putting it in the parking lot simply because it's a safety hazard, in my opinion. Anywhere you put it up there at the front is going to prohibit ingress and egress. You could put it right there in between, and if somebody with a trailer comes out or tries to back, an RV or something like that, it's in my opinion, it's a safety hazard. So I would not recommend placing it in the parking lot at all. It's a big enough space to allow for parking, but there's not much more in than that.
And we really need the sign to identify the business from the highway.
Well, it's like I told you last time, Mr. Barclay. Anybody that looks at that site, they know that it is.
That's right, they don't know what the name is. and that's what we built our business on, is a brand. And we need to have our name out there where they can see it. That's,
What's wrong with the sites of the front of the building, where you got your mailbox, the other side down there, so there's still grassy areas there?
well, it doesn't, you know, we can't get the message to the people on 43. 43 is
That's my problem with it. You got a glare on the highway.
no, it's not a glare. We're,
I don't say a glare, a light that's gonna distract traffic.
yes, sir, but it's a very pale light, and we get a lot of our businesses coming out of Lawrence County. And, well, it's the board's decision.
Well, I think as far as distracted traffic, I mean, you've got plenty of things to distract. I almost get run over up here on a regular basis on Main Street just trying to walk across the crosswalk. So it's,
Just to let the board know, I spoke with our city attorney in reference to making sure that this was done the correct way, and just so this puts y'all at ease. The variance was approved, and she recommended that the best way to proceed is to exactly like we're doing here tonight. So I did clarify that with her before it's brought back to the board for reconsideration. And she approved of that.
You approved what now, Rob?
I just wanted to make sure that I was doing what needed to be done as far as my position goes in the fourth position.
we're taking a correct process.
Yes, I was trying to follow the correct process, so I just verified with her, and I'm in conversation with her quite often, that Mr. Berklow was okay in bringing this back because he's asking for removal of the condition. He's not fighting the variance that was given or the lack thereof, so it did not need to go to a court as other cases would have to. He's just asking the board to remove the condition, which would allow placement of the sign in the original location. So, like I said, I just want to clarify through our attorney there.
I think it's important that people from Lawrenceburg and other areas are able to see that sign in order for them to be able to, Safe Storage has a good place to, if you have to store things. And it's highly recommended, so.
Well, it's big enough, you got signs, you
Yeah.
got speed limit signs.
Right,
I glance
they're
over the speed
everywhere.
limit sign.
Exactly.
So, I mean, if you glance at this sign, it's big enough
Yeah.
that you're
That
not
people
gonna have to
can see.
squint to see what it is.
Right.
It's big enough you can see safe storage,
To me,
just at a glance.
what would be a glare for me might not be a glare for my daughter.
Right. I think it just makes sense for people to be able to see a reputable place to store their stuff.
Well, almost any business wants their
Yeah.
name out there. You mentioned that that's a brand for you, so that's,
Any other discussion? Remember, if not, we have a motion and a second to withdraw our last variance and allow him to move it back to the original location. Did I say that right, Robert?
Remove the condition from the variance that was allowed,
Right.
and remove it back to the original location, yes, sir.
Those in favor of the motion that have been over saying aye. Opposed? No. Motion carries. Any old business?
Mr. White, I apologize, can we get go ahead and get a roll call? I don't know that I heard everybody's vote on that.
roll call,
Roll call, I would like a roll call, because I didn't hear everybody.
Johnny Whip, yes.
Okay.
Jacqueline Johnson, yes.
No. Earl White?
Lisa Cole, yes.
Mike Pruitt, I think we,
4-1 vote.
Thank you, Chairman, for allowing me that.
I've got one other question.
Yes, sir.
I noticed on the application, you didn't mark whether the fee was paid on this amount.
Yes, sir.
Was it paid?
This fee was not paid, that's correct.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. I don't think he should be charged the fee.
That's correct. He was not charged a cent.
The fire system and.
Yes, sir.
So, the owner didn't see it, none of us knew it, you didn't know it, so.
That's
It's not his fault.
That was my reasoning. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, all, thank you for it.
Good luck. It's a nice looking place.
Well, thank you.
I drive by it pretty regularly, so.
People in Mount Pleasant will be proud of it.
Any new business?
No, Chairman.
Any staff comments?
No, sir, I'd just like to, I appreciate y'all coming back out and revisiting this again. I would like to just, through many conversations with Mr. Burklow, and I know he's worked hard trying to do everything that the city's requested of him, but I would like to give him a kudos for a business owner. I don't know if y'all realize this or not, but that large patch that is the right-of-way, that is adjacent to his property, his landscaping takes care of that, the state does not. I wish we had more businesses like that would do that.
State's a little.
They're a little slower, so, but I think the site is very presentable, and Mr. Burklow took that upon himself to do that large patch of right-of-way, which I wanted to recognize that. So thank you for sharing. That's all, Chairman.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Well, I want to say one thing before we do.
Okay, Steve, go ahead.
I've resigned effective the next meeting from the planning commission. So that's gonna pretty well take me off of this too, so I'll be resigning from this. And I guess this will be the last meeting for the BTA. I have one more planning commission meeting that will wind me up on that. My reason for doing it is, I can't devote the time I need to it between my job, which the last 2 weeks I put in 69 hours of overtime in 2 weeks. And it's killing me. So, to have a little time with family and stuff like that, I had to prioritize a few things, and unfortunately, this is one of the ones that I've let go.
Well, now, you can stay on this if you want, the more we meet.
Well, since I'm not involved with the planning commission any longer, I would right now, I would kind of like to get away from all this. Well, I put this
I
kind
just
of
want to
overtime.
make you aware, you don't.
Well, I appreciate it. And maybe after I retire, I'll reconsider.
All right.
But right now, 69 hours in 2 weeks is,
You too tired to spend
that's a
on
killer.
there.
Y'all know anybody wants a job in prison, please send it to us.
Thank you for being part of the board.
Appreciate that, and I've enjoyed doing it, and I've learned a lot doing it. And I'm fortunate to work with all you people. I appreciate y'all very much.
Anything else?
That's right.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I think we had that.
I'll second it. I'll second it.
We stand adjourned.
I apologize for the
The oven.
Huh? It's crazy.
I
enjoyed it.